Hey, welcome to Daily Fuel Tutorials, where we take common positions seen in our classes and we break them down so that you can learn them better. Today we're going to be covering a plank. I'd like to go over a few of the common mistakes that are made, the things that we want to look for, and the options that are best for you. You find this commonly in our strength class as well as our sweat class, so let's get to it. I'm going to get started with our forearm plank first, okay, and then we'll move into a straight arm plank. So getting started, you want your elbows underneath your shoulders. Sometimes we see elbows are too far back, and we're lacking support. So elbows under shoulders, and then come down for our first modified version. Flatten your feet on the floor, and your weight is in your knees. Okay, from here, a few things that tend to happen. We tend to push our stomach muscles out, okay, and we're pressing and we're pressing and we're working and we're bracing, but we're not bracing our muscles in a way that we would like them to be trained. So notice my stomach difference. This is muscles pressed out and away from me. Compress with an exhale. Draw your muscles up and in. Not only does it activate my full abdominal wall, but it takes a little bit of arch out of my back where I felt low back pressure, and it pulls up and in to find that release. Notice that small tilt that happens in my hips. So working to hold belly button up to spine is key regardless of where we go from here. So level 1 would be down on the knees, feet on the floor. You can help brace as you draw your core up and in tightly. Next level, curl your toes. Lift your knees off of the mat. You're going to feel your thigh muscles engage. Same things can happen here. Muscles press out and away, low back arches. We start to sink and we're holding on for dear life. Pull up with your stomach muscles. Belly button to spine, ribs shut. Notice that brace is the part that matters. Okay, let's talk a little bit about breath in a plank. I can't do the plank and talk about it at the same time. But if your stomach muscles, okay, are pushed away from you, you're going to fill your belly with your breath. As I inhale, my belly expands. Then as I exhale, it compresses. Okay, that's a bit exaggerated. That's not how we breathe in our day-to-day life, but it does control your abdominal brace with an inhale and an exhale. So if you're looking to draw in, right, notice if I exhale, I can get those muscles to pull tight. Now I'm still talking. My breath has moved from my stomach, and I'm not going to bring it back there. I've moved it up into my chest, right? A lung breath, a high lifted shallow breath that keeps us moving forward, but it is not challenging and changing the brace that we are attempting to hold. Okay, so moving forward, let's take that into a high arm plank, straight arms, and notice the differences that we face. So hands are typically right under shoulders, legs go straight back. What I want you to notice is that if my hands are directly under my shoulders, notice this huge crease right here in my wrist, and I've got major pressure points hitting right here to the back of my hand, probably holding 90% of my body weight. That's intense, and it's not muscle, it's joint. All right, so I want you to think about if you feel that, right, your shoulders may be slightly hovering over your wrist without letting your hands kick in. So 2 ways you can adjust this. Your hands can move forward slightly, press into all 10 fingertips, press into your palms, and press yourself back just slightly. You notice how I was able to release that hinge? I'm using my hand strength, and I'm also pulling into my shoulder strength. Okay, from there, hands are bracing. My elbows are not going to lock out. If you rotate the insides of your elbows too far, okay, you're going to feel that your bones are stacking one on top of the other. And while they are doing that for our form, I want you to soften and brace as if you were prepped for a push-up. Okay, that your arms are active, all 10 fingertips are pressing, as well as your palms. Last thing to take note of is our neck and shoulders. As we press with our hands, the tension can slowly rise up to our neck, and we feel the majority of our tension here and not here. Okay, while this is a full body position and you will feel your shoulders and back working, we want to get them to do only their fair share of the work. Notice the differences that can happen in my upper body and chest. Okay, if my chest and shoulder blades collapse and sink together, I start to collapse, and this is very difficult to hold. If I go too far in the opposite direction, I'm rounding my shoulders and protruding out, okay, and I'm not able to really press into my hands and use my arms fully. We're looking for middle ground. Flatten your shoulder blades, flatten your back, and pull your shoulder blades back away from your ears. The difference is minimal. You're going to feel it more than you see it. But muscles that start to activate are your lats, okay, on the back of your rib cage, down the sides, as well as your rhomboids right here in between your shoulder blades. Okay, so if we were collapsing, our shoulder blades were dropping our chest through. If we were protruding, right, and going too far in the opposite direction, we were rounded, our shoulder blades were stretching. What we're looking for is middle ground. Shoulder blades plugging into our back and holding our heart up. This posture, taken into a plank, okay, is going to keep my heart up, my neck long, my abs can then pull up and in, and I don't feel that my upper body is doing the majority of the work. My core is lifting my body, and then from there I can add movement. All right, so that is it today for our plank. I would love to hear if you have questions, if there are things that you're feeling that you're like, this doesn't seem right. Where should the work be? Ask me and we'll talk about it. We'll bring it into another tutorial next time. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to hear from you soon.